Hey, good morning. This is Joe with the AA Word of the Day for Sunday, October 6th, 2024. And the quote is from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 49. And fear says, "You dare not look." Here is a quotation from the Daily Reflections. How often I avoided a task in my drinking days just because it appeared so large. Is it any wonder, even if I have been sober for some time, that I will act the same way when faced with what appears to be a monumental job, such as searching a fearless moral inventory of myself? What I discover after I have arrived at the other side when my inventory is completed is that the illusion was greater than the reality. The fear of facing myself kept me at a standstill. And until I became willing to put pencil to paper, I was arresting my growth based on an intangible. Well, I was overwhelmed when I had to do my inventory. And there were two ways I approached problems. One, after I saw that making a to-do list with the hottest thing on the bottom didn't really work for me or for anybody, because I never really got to it. I'd do all the easy things first. And breaking things down into manageable amounts. So, however you approach moral inventory, if you do it by years or by different, say, aspects, that helped me a lot. I get overwhelmed when I see something so big. Hold on a second. So I try to break it down into manageable bits, and that helps. Like if I have, so like when I was in school and I had a paper due and it was a 30-page paper, and I knew it was due at the end of the semester, I would just make it a goal to write 3 pages a day. Then it doesn't, it doesn't seem so large. You can get it out of the way. And then finally you're at the last page. And with the to-do list, I learned very quickly that the way to get things done is put the hardest task up on top. You can break it down into manageable bits. This is me. It might not work for everyone, and I'm only giving my experience. But by breaking it down into little tasks, you get a sense of accomplishment. And I did mine bit by bit with my sponsor. I didn't like go through a whole long thing. I didn't do it that way. I did it bit by bit, and it worked for me. And I think I got a lot out of it. And another thing, when you do this moral inventory, I think for me it was a good idea to put down my pluses as well as my minuses. You're not all bad. Everyone has the Holy Spirit within them. And so that helped. I had a lot of good things on the negative, a lot of negative things in one column, and then a lot of good things in the positive column. So it all isn't doom and gloom. And I think sometime it mentions about the reality and the illusion. My dad had a cousin he was in World War II with, and very close to him, and they had a big family. And I'd go with my dad to visit them. They were my cousins too, and I'd have a good time. But his wife had a picture a famous artist. I'm trying to think of his name. It was of Noah's flood, and it was people clawing up to a little peak trying to get away from the water. And it scared me every time I looked at it. And I would go in the house, and it'd be right off to the right when you open the front door. And I put my head down and go like this. And then I go into the kitchen where the kids were. And so I was avoiding it. And then as I get to know the story, and eventually, I looked forward to seeing it when I went with him. The desperation of those people. And so, yeah, that's, I think that's a good example of, something becoming in your mind much more than it is. It's a picture. That's all it was, a reproduction of a picture. And, but it was scary to me. It was scary. Just like doing an inventory was scary. But I got through it, and it helped me. And it helped me when I went to see the spiritual advisor in Great Britain. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It was really quite the experience. So there's all these little tricks that you can learn to get it done, and try to organize it. Pick out groups of things you want, or pick out years like 0 to 5, 5 to 10, different years where you're developing characteristics of something. There's a lot of ways that you can figure it out. Maybe by decades, go by decades. First, depending on how old you are, I have a lot. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80. That's what I'm working on now, my 70 to 80 decade. If you've got any questions on any of this stuff, how I approached it, it's kind of pivotal to AA's success. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that are sent to me. Remember to like the channel. Subscribe and like. And that way, at least it tells me that you've joined and I have your email in case I can have some way to contact you. So that's it. Facing ourselves. And when you get all done, the face you see in the mirror isn't that scary. So I wish you well on this Sunday. Stay safe, stay sober, and I will see you tomorrow. Boy, this month is going past fast, and I'm looking at the Weather Channel every day, and there's a big storm brewing in the Gulf, and I hope it's not like the other. I'm actually ashamed to complain that my palm tree was knocked over when I saw a picture of that hospital almost to the first floor flooded, and they put people on boats and tied them to the building. Awful, awful, awful storm. So much loss of life. It keeps going up every day. 500 people lost. I pray to God for each one of them. And an awful lot of suffering to those who, they just don't have any electricity, no prospect of getting it soon. Some of them no place to live. But it's very nice that some of these companies sponsor laundry trucks that come down loaded up with washers and dryers. And I saw one place, I think it was in Asheville, North Carolina, they had a farmer's market. You could come and get a 4-day supply of food, take it back in a box. No charge, just the generosity of the people in the area. And that's what we need now, charity and generosity and faith that God will make all well. So, God bless, stay safe, and stay sober.